If you saw my last video, you know that Larry and I were out exploring the Rolls OHV area. That's just east of Phoenix, Arizona, uh, near Saguaro Lake. And we were looking for three more very secluded, remote beaches on the lake. And that dreaded EFI light, engine fault indicator, or as some of us know it, the check engine light came on. Now, it was hot, so it's never a good time to break down out in the middle of nowhere. But 10 miles from the safety of the trailer in the staging area, when it was heading towards 100 degrees or whatever it was that day, it was going to be really hot. It was a terrible time for this to happen. Well, fortunately, we were able to drive back to the trailer, and there was absolutely, the engine sounded great. It ran great. In fact, several times I forgot I even had the light on, and I was having a really good time on the way back. But I did take it into the shop. They were closed on Monday, so I took it in on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, they told me what the problem was. No trouble found. Well, the light was still on when I took it in, and they hooked up the computer. The only engine error code they could find was an old one that said the belt had slipped somewhere in the past. So they cleared the light, gave me back the villain, and you know what? This gave me the excuse I've been looking for quite some time. Roughly a year ago, I was watching videos. Well, there's a fellow that has a channel, SXS Outcast, side by side Outcast. He's down in the southeast, and he tried a whole bunch of different belts because he didn't like the way the villain shifted. Personally, I hate the way the villain shifted with the OEM belt. And he went through several belts and finally found one, an aftermarket belt that not only had longevity, but it seemed to fix the shifting. So for about a year now, I've been just really wanting to change the belt, but there was nothing wrong with my OEM belt. So that error code, that's all I needed to motivate me to drop 190 bucks roughly on Amazon. I ordered the part, the new belt showed up. And once I got it installed, I mean, all I did was drive around the block and put it on the trailer because we did this in Larry's garage. It was like 110 degrees when we did this. His garage has air conditioning. My carport does not. So I was over there. Anyway, I took it for the test spin and on and off the trailer. And I got to say, it shifts easy, not like it has for the last year and a half, almost 1,800 miles. If you have a Segway Villain and you've experienced where with both hands you're pushing that shifter lever and it still doesn't want to move and you're afraid you're going to break it, I'm telling you, this is the solution. Now, we're going to go through how to do this. So if you're curious, stay tuned and you'll see how that happens. And there was one important thing. Not only do you need the belt, but you need a special tool in order to loosen the clutch so that the belt can come off. And that thing is pricey. It's up to $60 plus in some locations. You can find it elsewhere for less. But I also found out that you can go to the hardware store and just buy this bolt that's about $5, and you don't need a $60 plus tool. Now, keep in mind, I am not an expert. I'm a novice. I've been at this for a year and a half. But my goal with this channel is to share as I learn so that maybe it's a little easier for you. Now, also keep in mind, this channel is not just about Segway Villains, although that's what I'm focused on today. I review various accessories as we add them, and usually those accessories work on other vehicles. I'll also tell you where we go riding, and in the description, in the video description, I put lots of information. So today you'll find not directions for how to get from point A to point B because I didn't go anywhere, but you will find links to everything I'm talking about. All right, so let's start the install process. And by the way, I have a couple of links in the video description if you want to better understand how a CVT works. One of them is 6 minutes long, the other one's 21 minutes long. And believe me, I've watched both a couple times, and I think they are well worth watching. Now, if you have your owner's manual and it's for a 2023, like my machine, on page 4-16, they talk about the CVT belt. Now, you could also remove the tire to make all of this more accessible. We chose not to. Now, Larry's here keeping an eye on me to make sure I do things right. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the belt cover. This requires 10 millimeter socket or a Torx T25. That's just the way the bolts are. Now, we used an impact tool because I like power tools. What can I say? It makes those things come out of there super fast. Now, make sure you've got somewhere to keep all those bolts. There's 10 of them, and you're going to need to put them back in. Now, once you take the cover off, it's time to release the pressure on the clutch by compressing, well, on the 2023 like mine, the secondary clutch rollers. To do this is where you're going to need that special Segway Villain tool or a bolt. It's an M10 by 120 millimeters, or basically 4 inches long. And I got mine at the local hardware store. So what you're going to do is look for the threaded boss. There's 4 of them over here, but only one of them is threaded. And you're going to take that bolt, stick it in there, and start tightening it. And yes, I used an impact tool here, although some people will say you probably shouldn't do that. It worked just fine. And I cranked with the impact tool very quickly. It loosened everything up enough so that the next step was quick. I grabbed hold of the bottom of the belt, rotated it in a clockwise direction, pulling away from the secondary. That's the large pulley. It's not the correct name, but that's what I call it. So you pull it off, and once you get it off the left side as you're looking at this, then you pull it off the front. Now that we have the belt off, we can look for any wear on the edges. Mine looks almost brand new. 1,800 miles, a year and a half of riding, and I've definitely had some fun with this. And it really doesn't show any sign of wear. But when I hold the two belts together, so the new one is that Gates Force Redline CVT belt. The model is 47R4368. Anyway, it's in the description. When you hold them together, you can see as far as the width, the Gates is just slightly smaller. It's amazing that that's all it takes. And my shifting is going to be so much easier. So if you're having shifting problems with a Villain, I strongly suggest you give this a try. Now, I waited a long time because I thought I'd wear out the OEM belt so much quicker. And look at this. I've hardly done anything. So I'm going to keep the OEM belt as a spare. Now, this is important that you make sure when you're taking these things on and off that you look at the text that's imprinted on the outer edge, outer surface on the top. And it should be readable. The reason we do this is so that when you put a used belt back on, you can put it back on the proper. As I did my research for how to properly do this, there was so many different sites I went to and opinions about how much cleaning should be done and the inspection. So the main thing is those cone-shaped plates. They're called sheaves. So if we want to call a front and a rear pulley, it's the primary and the secondary clutch. Either side, and we're on the inside, you're going to look for any pitting, excessive glazing, deep grooves, stuff like that. You may need to replace the entire clutch system. In my case, they look really great. So all I did was just wipe everything down. Now, it's important if you use any kind of cleaning agent, make sure it has no lubricant. You don't want this area to be slippery. That belt needs to grab a hold of those walls. In fact, one guy even suggested that you scuff up the clutch faces to create a better grip using something like a Scotch-Brite pad, light but equal pressure, crosshatch pattern. I mean, everybody has their own idea of how things should be done. I mean, hey, I detail my machine after almost every ride. Other people, they Clean? What's that? So anyway, inspect, make sure everything is good. Now we're ready to put things back together. So we already talked about with, in this case, our new belt. Make sure that you can read the text. That's the direction you're going to put it on. And if you take it off, you'll know which way to put it back on. So I put the belt on starting at the front or the right as we're looking at this setup, and then pulled it from the bottom around the large secondary pulley in the rear and did a clockwise direction. Now you got to be really careful here because I was only able to get one hand in here since I didn't take the tire off, and it's pretty easy to pinch your fingers. So you just keep rotating that secondary clutch pulley
All right, spin it on there, Larry.
in a clockwise direction until you manage to pop the belt on. Now it's going to be very loose, so this is the point where you're going to remove that special tool, or in my case, a bolt. And again, I used my impact driver and popped that sucker out of there pretty quick. And then you keep rotating that secondary clutch in a clockwise position until the belt centers on both ends. And then you keep rotating some more until the belt finally tightens. So this will take a little while because you don't have an impact tool making this happen. This is all done. So after several rotations, it will finally get to the point where you're happy. Now, I was going to put the cover back on, but Larry said, hey, let's make sure everything's good. So I actually took it down the street and turned around and came back so that we could inspect that everything looked good. And it did. So now it's time, if everything's nice and clean on the inside, on the cover as well, you can put the cover back on. So this is where you need to make sure you know where all 10 of those bolts are. And they should be torqued down to 4.4 pounds. At least that's what the owner's manual says on page 416. I'm not sure you'll have the same issue I did putting the cover on, but I had noticed before I took it off that one of my 10 bolts were missing, and while I was at the hardware store, I picked up a replacement bolt. My suspicion is once upon a time when it was inspected at the shop, the mechanic went to put things on and discovered what I did. That one hole towards the front, it does not line up properly between the cover and where the threads are in the other piece. So I put that bolt in first, just finger tight, not tightened down. And then I was able to put all the other 9 bolts in. So you might want to start with that one first. All right, so everything's back together. It seems to be working just fine. I'll take it out for my next ride. Maybe I'll go somewhere where I can always go pick it up with the trailer if I have an issue, or Larry might just be willing to tow me in. He is experienced at that. He has pulled a Polaris Razor in before. So the last thing to talk about is the belt break-in period. I didn't find anything specific in the manual, but I did find some general rules on the internet. And what they're recommending is don't drive like a maniac. It's no high speeds, no heavy loads. So just don't max it out. 3/4 throttle. And do this for about the next 20 to 50 miles, or they talk about 2 heat cycles of conservative riding, meaning go about 15 miles, let it cool down, and then the second heat cycle about 15 miles and let it cool down with varying the throttle throughout. Well, that's it for this video. I hope it helps you make the decision, should you change your belt? And if you have an OEM on a 2023, 2024 Segway Villain, I would strongly recommend it based on my experience. Thanks for watching.